Can you give any use case of this prediction techniques? I'm not getting too much response in the chat box. I don't know what is the reasons, and very few students have joined. See, if you have a prediction of your part failure in the machines, okay, or on the maintenance, if you know that this bearing of your machine tool is going to be failed after the 6 months or after the 4 months, so you can, what you can do is you can immediately change that bearing and you can avoid the downtime, okay, or you can avoid the maintenance of the machines. So this is the main another application of predictions, are mainly widely used this prediction techniques in the maintenance, okay, or predicting maintenance. If you are going to find out the research paper, there are a lot of research paper are available on predicting maintenance. So one of the application is to predict the part failure. Another one is that to predict the forecast the demand of in upcoming time, okay, what will be the demand in this time period. So due to that, what you can do is you can just manage your resources, okay, after the 6 months this will be the demand of the product, so accordingly you can manage your resources. So that is also another example of prediction techniques, okay. So these are the reasons we need to have some predictions techniques to predict in the manufacturing field, okay. Now let's start how this prediction techniques is work, okay. So whatever techniques for the prediction purpose we are going to be used, okay. So in that one, the first prediction techniques is artificial neural network, okay. The basic, before going to understand this artificial neural network, you may have learned the regressions techniques. Let me just explain how this regression techniques work, and then I will explain you this technique called artificial neural network, okay. So you may know that in the regression techniques we have a one input variable, dependent variable, okay, and one we have independent variable. Suppose input variable is x and output variable is y, clear, and I carried out set of experiment at different value of x, okay. I carried out different experiment on a different value of x, clear. I have done the experiment at different value of x, so I can easily, okay, I can measure the value of y. What is the value of y when I have taken x at this point? What is the value of, suppose at this value of x, the value of y is this one, then this one, then this one, then it is this one. So this is the various value of y for a different value of x, okay. So I have a data set. See, primary requirement is data set. I have a data set, let me just count 1 2 3 4 5 6. I have a 6 data set, okay, for 6 different value of x. I have a 6 different value of y, okay. So now what I want to do, I want to predict for unknown value of x, okay. So I haven't carried out the experiment at this point, okay. So I am interested in what will be the value of y at this value of x, what will be the value of y at this value of x. So I haven't done any experiment, so I cannot uh, tell, okay, what will be the value of y. But it is not that, so I am also going to be carried out the experiment at this point also, okay, because we know that between two different value of x, there are in between infinite number of points. We know that from concept of mathematics, if we have a two different point 1 and 2, okay, so these are the two boundaries of the point, but in between there are infinite number of points, so we cannot do the infinite number of experiment. Okay, so in that case what I'm going to do, I'm going to find out some mathematical model so that I can predict the value of x. Okay, so now whatever value I'm going to predict the value of x, it will be not exactly uh, near to the real situations. Okay, there will be always some scope of error. Okay, according to the what model you have used, okay, how accurately you have fit the model with data, according to that conditions there will be always some error. Are you getting this thing? Okay, so something like this I am going to do here also. So can you suggest anything what I can do, what I can do in this case? Okay, I want to know what is the value of y for unknown value of x. I haven't done the experiment at this positions, I haven't done the experiment at these positions, but I want to predict. So what I can do? Can any of you suggest me what will be the procedure for doing that? Any one of you? Please let me know. Can you use this blue data points to predict the value of y? And if you want to do, how you are going to do it? Any suggestions? Any? What you can find out from this data set? You can find out that this data set, generally what happens that as x is increasing, y is increasing, right? Okay. So, but right now I do not have any mathematical model. I do not have any mathematical equation. So for that, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to make one mathematical model, and to make a mathematical model, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to draw one line. Okay, so these are the scatter points, but all these scatter points I will represent it by the single line. Okay, so this line can be anything. Okay, it can be here, it can be here, this is this one. Okay, it can be any line. Are you getting? But I need to find out this line which fit the base to all this point. Okay, so I will see that what I will do, I will set this line such a way that it represents the all the experiment I have done. So if I'm drawing a line at this orientations, I can visualize easily that it is not representation of all the data point. Okay, if I'm using this, it's slightly better because it's covered 2 points and other 4 points are missed. Okay, so this one is better one, this one is also better one, but it's only cover one single point and other one are not. Okay, even this I can do it, this one also cover only single point, so this is not a good location. So I can use this one of the option is this. Okay, because here you can see that we have a two different point. Okay, two different points are we can cover, but again if I just changing the intersection of this line also, so I can cover more than 2 points. So here you can say in this case I can cover more than 2 points on the line. So this line is more than better. Okay, but what is problem with this pink line? You can observe that this blue this point, okay, this point and these points are too far from this pink line as compared to this blue line. Okay, so I cannot concentrate on the some of the point. I have to concentrate on all these points. Okay, so for that I can see that the minimum deviations for all, okay, mean square error, okay, for all point, if I'm going to consider this, yellow line is the best representation of this data set. Okay, so now I can easily find out the slope of this line because I have it is passing through these two lines, so I can easily find out slope of this line, and I also can easily find out that is what will be the intersection with y-axis. So y is equal to mx plus c. Okay, y is equal to mx plus c. So this will be the equation of line. Okay, are you getting this thing? Y is equal to mx plus c. Okay, so once I have the equation of line, then I can easily find out value of y for any value of x. Okay, so suppose let me just assume then y m is equal to 2, so 2x, and intersection is 5, so it will be plus 5. So now you can see that if you are putting any value of x, suppose here between 1 to 2, if you want 1.5. So just putting 1.5 here, you can easily predict what will be the y. So for any value of x, you can easily identify any value of y. Clear? So this is the concept of linear regressions. Okay, here we just putting the linear equation. So linear regression. So same way, sometimes instead of this linear regressions, we have a distributions in the non-linear conditions. Okay, so in that case also we have a non-linear regression analysis. So suppose let me just put some random data in graphic linearly, non-linearly, sorry. So here you can see that this data set is nothing but it is non-linear. Okay, so non-linear will be that. Okay, so if it is only a simple non-linear, so these equations can be easily derived. There are various techniques to find out the equation of this non-linear curve. Okay, but in real life, in real practice, there will be always more complex curve will be there in whose uh, intersections or whose mathematical model is not easy to find out. Okay, for example, let me just draw this one. Can you model this? Is it possible to have a mathematical equation of this? No. Okay, if you have a curve like this, can you model this? Okay, so it is very challenging, okay, to model such a complex non-linear curves. And this is I'm talking regarding only one dimensional. But in real life, you know that we have more than two variable. Okay, so if there are two variables, so there will be the whole 3D space you will have, and a 3D curve will be there. On there you have a complex shapes, okay, or complex shapes, and even in the fourth there is it is not representing here. So in that case, this linear regressions or non-linear regressions are failed to make a mathematical model. So in such a cases we can use the artificial neural network. So it is nothing but it is used for the regressions, not only for regressions problem, and another one is the classifications problem. So first let me just explain what is the regressions problem. Let me just write here regressions problem. Can you predict what do you mean by the regressions problem? Any one of you? We have a two types of problem, regression and another one is classifications. So any idea regarding what is the main difference between regression and classification problem? Please let me know, anyone of you, if you are able to recall. We have already discussed this once. So if you have any doubt, sorry, what is the main difference between regression and classification? So remember this thing, the regressions is always used for the continuous data set. During the first chapter, types of data we have discussed, we have two types of data. One is called continuous and another one is called discrete data. Okay, so in the continuous data, it can take any value. So here we have discussed with the example of linear regressions. So here we have assumed that X can take any value. So it is called a regression problem. Okay, now what is the classifications problem? So we have also discussed the qualitative data. Okay, if you want to find out what is the defect in your component. Okay, for example, in the case of casting, it can be a misrun, it can be a blowhole. So what is that types of defect in that component that you can find out with the help of these classifications. Okay, so classifications, that means or you can say you have a data set of discrete value. Your data can take a particular value only. So in that case, it is called a classifications problem. But when you have that your data set can take any random value, so in that case, we are going to say it is a regressions problem. So please, if anybody has any doubt regarding what is the difference between regressions and classification, please let me know. This is a very important point, okay, to understand what is the difference between regression and classifications. Okay, no doubt, that's good. So let's understand how it's work. So artificial neural network. First, remember this artificial neural network is used for the most complex data distributions. Okay, we have seen that linear regressions in which we can easily visualize that our data is linearly distributed or a non-linear we can use. Okay, but even some non-complex, non-linear data distributions are there, which is very difficult to model with conventional way. So in that case, we can use this non-conventional of data modeling, that is called artificial neural network. So from name itself, you can understand artificial neural network. Okay, so from our neural network system, this algorithm is developed. Okay, so by studying the human body, the neurons of neuron system of human body, engineers has developed a new mathematical technique called artificial neural networks for the prediction purpose. Okay, so here you can see the picture of this one neuron which is in our human body. So it has the dendrites. Okay, dendrites. This dendrites are nothing but it are capturing the data. Okay, it is, you can say, the sensors. Okay, when you are surfacing any when you are touching any surfaces, okay, you immediately identify, okay, what is the temperature of that surface. Okay, if it is too hot, you are just get back your hand. Okay, or if it is a too cold, then also you just get back your hand. Okay, so what will happen is this dendrites will collect the data. Okay, it is a, you can say, the sensor point. Okay, so suppose these are your 5 fingers and you are touching anything, so every point on the finger just collecting the data, and that data is processed inside this nucleus. Okay, center, this is, you can, nucleus, and some decision will be taken, and then this decision is passed to the same other neuron. So there will be the other neurons which is connected with this nucleus. So it is sent, and again at that point also some calculations will be carried out, and it's sent to the next neurons. And there are the thousands, lakhs of these types of cell body, okay, which is connected by this axon. Okay, and then the mind, the brain will take some decision, and it will be on the basis of that some actions will be taken. Okay, so that is how this neural network works. Okay. So here you can see this in figure. This is the artificial neural network in which we have a input parameters. Okay, so we have a different input. Okay, so you can say these are the sensor, or you can say dendrites. Okay, then we here in the center we have some uh, computational is done at this center. Okay, so what will happen? We have some inputs, but we are not directly sending that all inputs to the center. Okay, we are either sending some of the part of the informations, or I am sending full informations, or more than full information. Okay, that means suppose if I'm using here all the inputs have a this W1, W2, W3, all are the inputs values. So suppose right now, and let's say my input is 3. Okay, my input is 3. So that means W into 3. Okay. So if W1 is equal to 1, that means whatever your input whole, you are just directly sending it to the computational center. But if you are taking W1 equal to 0, that means you just sending nothing from this input. Okay. If you are taking 0.5, that means you are just sending only half of this first sensor. Okay. So like that sensor, all we have this different inputs and its weightages. Okay, and then some computations will be done and we are going to create the output. Okay, and this output is then processed. Clear? So this is the overall idea of this, how artificial neural network works. Clear? Anybody has any doubt in the construction of, in the working principle of this neural network, please let me know. Anybody has any doubt, please let me know in the chat box. Okay. So we stop early today. We will stop here because very few students has joined the sessions. Okay. And tomorrow is the last day to select your process. Okay. You need to select your process and you need to submit small presentation. Okay. On that uh, process, whatever you have selected. Okay. So make sure that you complete that assignment on time. Okay, in that you just to select one process, whatever, there are many manufacturing process, you just select randomly and just prepare the one small presentation for them. Clear? So that's it. We will stop here, and if you have any doubt, any query, just put it on the chat box. Okay. Yeah, sorry, it is not a PPT presentation, but you have to prepare a report. Okay. Just mistake, my mistake. It is not a PPT, but you have to prepare the report and you should upload it. Okay, so tomorrow will be the last date. So make sure that you are all completing, and all the future assignment will be based on this, whatever process you have selected. Okay, so make sure that we are selecting a proper process of your interest. Okay, because all upcoming assignment will be the based on that process only. So thank you everyone. Anybody has any doubt, any query, just put it on the chat box. Otherwise, write down your full enrollment number and then you can leave the session. I hope everyone has written the enrollment number. If you have not written, please write down immediately. I'm ending this meeting now.